Thank you, Mr. Wu, for the very warm introduction. Dear parents, teachers, and fellow Outramians. It is an honor to speak with you today. I graduated in Outram from 2001. And actually, my father was also an Outramian. So I'm also a second generation Outramian. And after I finished my national service, I came back here to be a relief teacher. So in a way, no matter how far I run, I still come back here. And in fact, I was part of the very first batch of students when I was in Sec 1 to step into this building. And even though I've graduated from long ago, Outram is still very near and dear to my heart. I made lifelong friends here. I learned how to give a speech here. I learned how to be a leader here. And of course, I also had my first teenage crush here. Lucky my wife is not here. So please humor me as I reminisce about the teachers I experienced in Outram. When I was in Sec 4, I wanted to take geography as an additional subject, but I was in a history class. So I went up to my geography teacher, Miss Tan Boon Hui, and asked her, I know I'm in Sec 4 already, but can I take geography as an additional subject? And to my surprise, she said yes. I hadn't spoken to her for a year and a half before that. She gave me a textbook, she gave me the teacher's handbook, then she said, reach out to me if you have any questions. And before you think I was some kind of top student, let me assure you, I was not. While preparing for this speech, I pulled out my old report book, the one in blue, and I'm going to read out a few sentences from this report book to you. I think the students will enjoy this the most. Sec 1, Yi-Xian is capable of better results. Sec 2, Yi-Xian needs to be more serious in his work to get better results. Sec 3, Yi-Xian must be careful to not neglect his studies and set his priorities right. He should improve the quality of his grades. So I really don't know why Miss Tan gave me that chance, but she did. Miss Tan, are you here today by any chance? Oh, okay, she's here. Next to Mr. Chung. Yeah. And of course, even though Miss Tan gave me that chance, I had to earn the right to keep that chance by taking the same tests as everyone else. So, dear students, dare to ask for opportunities from your teachers. It won't always be given to you, but once you have it, work for it. Otherwise, that opportunity is wasted. Another teacher of mine, Mr. DT, he was my Sec 4 English teacher. He made me the English rep, which meant that I had to read all of my classmates' English homework to correct any grammatical mistakes before they handed it in to him. I think this is called outsourcing. And if they made a mistake, I had to join them for remedial class after school. This is called, in the army, the gun. Yeah. So, I would come to school at 6 a.m., sit in the parade square, and go through 40 English essays while the sun slowly rose. And Mr. DT really terrorized our class. But he did this because he knew that if we wanted to go to the JC and Polytechnic courses of our choice, we needed to pass English. And in the end, my year had some of the best results in history. About 20 of us had good enough results to go to JC. So teachers, I hope that you, like the teachers that I had, continue to believe in your students and give them the push when they need it. And of course, students, I hope that you remember to say thank you to your teachers. You know, teachers is a very tiring job. We need energy. All educators need energy back. So please remember to thank them. If not, it's a very thankless job. High time. So just now, you heard me read from my report card. It's very embarrassing. And I was a very average student, a lot of B's, a lot of C's, sometimes an F. So my brother and my sister, they were straight A students. They were gifted students, went to humanities stream in RJC. And my father was so frustrated with me that he refused to sign any of my report cards on my test papers. So my poor mother, she had to sign every single test card and report card. And what happened? Well, when I was in Sec 4, during the June holidays, Outram had a program where they would partner up with Hwa Chong JC. For a Outram student will tutor you, and in my case, my tutor was an ASEAN scholar from China. I remember when I showed up for the first day, she just stared at me, and she said, "Where's your 10-year series?" And I said, "At home." I had to go back home, bring my 10-year series, sit down there in front of her, and for the next 2 weeks, for 8 hours a day, I did 10-year series in front of her. In the beginning, it was very, very boring for me. But after a while, it became fun. For years, everyone told me to work hard, but I needed someone to show me how to work hard. And I gave myself a goal. I wanted to go to Outram JC. And a few months after, for my prelims, I got 4 A1s, 2 A2s, 1 B3, and 1 C6. Everyone was shocked. My mother was so happy that when she signed my report book, she drew a very big smile. So dear students, I'm sharing this with you because getting good results is like achieving any other goal in life. You have a plan, you get feedback on how you're going to achieve this plan from your teachers and maybe better students around you, and then you work hard. That's it. There's no secret recipe. That's just it. And parents, don't give up hope. At this stage, you are more of a coach to your students. Try to introduce positive role models to them. Because if you say something to them, maybe they won't listen. But if someone else says the same thing to them, maybe they will listen. We were all teenagers once. And some of you might wonder, what was your C6 in? It was in Chinese. So let me say a few words in Chinese to you. 以前我真的好恨华文。有一天我在欧南中学的时候，我的华文老师问我：“Yi-Xian，幸福是什么？”我就回答老师：“我华文能够及格就是我的幸福。”我从学校毕业之后，就对华文没有什么兴趣了。但是我去美国打工的时候，发现到用华文交流其实是个优势。我也是发现到，你光要我国的国父一直上华文补习课，所以我也是开始上华文补习课。虽然我现在是个 CEO， 但是我还在学华文。我希望大家能够多用华文，了解华文，学到老活到老，养成终身学习的习惯。And dear students, okay, I'm not C6 anymore, right? Yeah, dear students, you know when I look at you today, you know what I see? I see my friends and I, more than 20 years ago, all of us were probably sitting on the same seats that you were sitting on, in this same hall. And you know today, where my friends are? My friends who graduated in 2001. They're businessmen, like my friend Chester Chong. They're filmmakers, like Lin Chong, partners in MNCs, like Tong Bo Xiong, founders in architecture firms, like Tan Bing Hui and Chin Ang, fighter pilots, like Kelvin Chan, singer-songwriters, like Xu Wai-yin, he was on TV, very popular. And of course, teachers, like my dear good friend, Mr. Zawa. These are all some of the friends that I graduated in my year, just some of them. And compared to all of the students in the world, we were not the most academically gifted, but we worked hard to get to where we were. And if you forget everything else that I told you today, it's okay. But remember that to achieve anything in life, you have to work hard. No one has ever achieved anything special and said that was much easier than I expected. In fact, it's often much harder than you ever expected. You will succeed just like all the generations of Outramians before you. Why? Because of our school's motto, which has stayed the same for 116 years. Labor omnia vincit, labor conquers all. And last of all, Mr. Wu reminded me that this year's award theme is caring contributors. To me, this means that you have to pass it on. This school has given me so much, and so I have to give back to the school. And dear students, I am sure that 20 years from now, you too will come back and give back to this school. And that is what makes Outram an outstanding school. Thank you.